But yeah, if you're new here, there's some links below with some more music you can check out. It's quite hot, so we got a fan going, so if it's too loud, let me know. I will turn it off. But for now, I'm hoping the cool air can keep us going. That's a jazz song called I'll Remember April. That's a song that it's one of the first songs that I learned when I was taking jazz guitar lessons in Baltimore. I grew up a little bit in Maryland, in Harford County, Maryland. And there was this great guitar guru guy named Michael Reitzek who lived in Baltimore. And I would travel down to his place to take a couple lessons every once in a while. And he showed me this tune because he wanted to show me some jazz concepts, how chord progressions are put together on jazz songs. And this one does a lot of it. A lot of those chord progressions. And but for some reason, it took me many years to memorize that song, which is a little ironic because it's called I'll Remember April, but I could never remember it ever. But yeah, it's a strange form. It has, it has really long sections, there's a really long section that stays in one key, just playing this chord for the whole time, and then this chord for a little bit longer. So I used to always flip the song around and get confused, but with age, I'm now able to remember that song. I'm gonna continue now with one of my tunes. This song is called Nature Walk. It's off my solo acoustic guitar EP, which you can find a link to in the link below. There's a link tree that takes you to all my different links, my website, my 2 albums, wherever you listen to music, whether it's streaming services like Apple Music, Tidal, or Spotify, or my Bandcamp page where you can buy music from me directly. Speaking of Bandcamp, it's the beginning of September. For those of you that don't know, Bandcamp Friday is this Friday, where all the proceeds from purchases on Bandcamp go directly to the artist instead of getting split between Bandcamp and the artist. So that's really great for supporting artists that you like. You'd be surprised, I bet there's a lot of music. If you look up the artists on bandcamp.com, you'll probably find them. A lot of people are using that, even though it's really easy to find them on other listening websites. But yeah, check out Bandcamp. You can find all my stuff at prawitsiriwat.bandcamp.com, where you can find all the music that I've released. You can buy digital versions. You can buy a physical copy of a couple CDs. Let me see if I have any here. Yeah, you can get this album right here. This is Blueberry, my trio record, jazz rock trio record. You can get it as it is, or you can get some different things. There's a signed version, some other merch, some sheet music. So check that out. Buy it on Friday so that we all get a little extra money and a little more support. But anyway, I'm gonna play the title track from my solo acoustic EP called Nature Walk. Yeah, that was a nice little short one called Nature Walk. I wrote that song. It came to me pretty quickly. Some songs take a long time to come. Some songs just kind of pop in your head. Oh, let's see. Where is this frozen? There we go. Okay. Yeah, so some songs pop into your head. Some songs take a little minute to work out. This one kind of popped in. I was when I moved to California I moved from New York. New York being a pretty concrete place, not a lot of nature directly in front of you. So when I moved to California, it was amazing, kind of seeing all the different kind of, well, all the vegetation was already a surprise when we walked out of the airport, and then just being able to like go not to take a not too long trip to just take a small walk through nature or a hike was amazing. So yeah, so after one of these walks, I'm thinking it might have just not even been a full-blown out in the wild nature walk. I might have just come back from a walk outside in our neighborhood. This melody and kind of progression came to me, and I wrote it down, and that became Nature Walk. Yeah. Let's see, what should we play next? I'm gonna play a new one. This is one that I'm working out. Could be a song to play with a singer, honestly, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's a new one that's in the works. Yeah, if you're just joining in here, my name is Prawit Siriwat. I'm a guitar player based down here in Southern California, guitar player and composer. I play a lot of jazz and folk inspired music, and I often play with singer-songwriters. So yeah, check out the links below for some more music, some more sounds. In a little bit, my good friend Ruby Greenberg is going to come up here and play some songs with me. We just got off a little bit of travel. We were playing in Colorado, Ruby's home state, and it was a lot of fun. It was Ruby, me, and our good friend Daniel Durst. Yeah, he's been on the stream a lot lately too. Yeah, we played a couple of shows in Colorado Springs, some in Denver, and it was just a whole buttload of fun. Feels like the three of us have been playing together for a long time in different situations, but it really feels like the music's coming together nicely, and it's really nice when you're playing music together and everything just kind of feels easy, you know, not too much, not trying to pull hair out to figure out things, or like really kind of jumping on that synergy and making the music sound good and create good vibes with everyone we're playing for. So yeah, if you've been on the stream before, you know that we've been kind of we usually do them from 7 to 9 PST, just trying out a new time. We'd love to hear if anyone has thoughts on that or preferences. We're trying to see if we can catch a couple more people on the East Coast during these live sets too. So let's see. Let's play another. This is another song of mine from the Nature Walk EP. This is called Picking Peonies. That's a song called Picking Peonies off of my solo acoustic EP entitled Nature Walk, which you can find at the links below for all the different ways you can listen to that. Listening at the links below is a great way to support the channel because it helps get the music out there. Yeah. So Picking Peonies, that song that I just played, was written about this feeling of, when you really want to uplift someone that's close to you, finding ways to do that in little ways throughout your day. In this particular case, I thought of it when my partner, I was thinking about my partner, and I was at the grocery store at a Trader Joe's down here, and they happened to have these really nice peonies there, so I was picking through them to help uplift my partner in some way that day, do something to make her happy. Yeah. So once again, if you're new here, check out the links in the description. There's a lot of ways you can support this channel are by subscribing, liking this live stream, checking out some of the other videos on the channel. And you can also support us directly by tipping in the tip link. I believe right now it's a Venmo handle. We're working on a new tip link for other ways to contribute, but for now that's what we have down there. Yeah. And I'd love for you to check out some more of our music too. So, let's see. Now I'm gonna play a song called Mountain. Yeah, this song I wrote after after one of our trips to Colorado. It seems like we've been doing it's almost a tradition now to go to Colorado in the summer, July, August time to play with Ruby. But I wrote this song after maybe the first time we went, and we went on a hike through, and we saw some amazing mountains. And where I grew up, the mountains were small, so like anything that I see that looks like has high elevation, I'm pointing out and calling that a mountain. So we were joking about that on this last trip. These things that Daniel and Ruby might call a hill. I tend to think that they're mountains, but I guess it's all perspective. But yeah, so I wrote this song inspired by just the massiveness of big mountains. So. Yeah, that was an old jazz standard called "Alone Together." They went into there at the end there. Let's see. Been working on a little bit of new music. We've been watching some over the last year some Ghibli films, and I've been really into Joe Hisaishi, the composer for a lot of those movies. Yeah, and some of like the melodic structures have been kind of seeping into my writing, and the aesthetic. For a long time, I was really into, still am really into Riichi Sakimoto's solo piano playing. He's really well known for a lot of his electronics and his contribution to synths in the 80s, but he also is an amazing improviser and solo piano player too. A very different approach to constructing music than maybe other jazz-related solo piano players. Maybe thinking like Keith Jarrett, it's like we have a similar aesthetic, but then something completely unique. So a lot of that has kind of influenced the way I've been thinking about composing music for solo guitar lately too. There's something about listening while you're writing to the sound of the instruments in the space and having that help direct you where melodies want to go, where harmony wants to go. Listening to these same notes in a different room could have a totally different effect. So sometimes that's important to tune into when you're writing. So this is a new one that I don't have a name for yet, but well, let's try that again. I'm gonna try to get the strap higher. Don't want to look like a nerd, but you know, sometimes you just gotta play comfortable. On my exploration of solo guitar since I moved out to California, solo acoustic guitar specifically, I've been experimenting with dad yad. It seems like a lot of solo acoustic guitar players are into that, and I've a full convert. I love playing in dad yad. not only because it allows me to play all these full textures on a single guitar, um, uh, but it also allows me to play kind of these drones that I associate with a lot of other music that I'm inspired by. Things like in Indian music where there's a drone going. That's my bad impression of actually playing that, but also things like listening to certain kind of spiritual jazz things like Coltrane's later stuff. And things like a lot of Irish music uses these open tunings for accompaniment, but also for kind of getting these rhythmic textures while still playing harmonically correct things. So I've just really been digging it. Someone that really turned me on to it was there were two people. One of them is my good friend Larry Sogolo, who owns Organic Sounds Select Guitars down in Santa Ana. I also teach guitar in person there, but Larry plays a lot of dadgad and kind of turned me onto this tuning. And then also this great guitar player I got to open for, I think it was a year ago now, named Taya Gherkin. And then Taya also plays in a lot of different tunings, but dadgad's pretty common for him. And we got to chatting, we played some tunes together, and this made dadgad something really fun to think about. So let's see. Lanx says, "What kind of jazz drew you in originally?" Yeah, so a really common story for guitar players is if they're young guitar players that are were in high school in the early 2000s, was to play, if you were into any kind of progressive rock music or metal, often a teacher or someone would direct you in the idea of getting into jazz because, one, there's improvisation in it, two, you get to play in a band in high school usually. So a lot of guitar players end up doing this to expand their knowledge, to get playing experience, and because a lot of the educators of guitar players in the early 2000s were recently graduated jazz students. So that happens. That's some of why that's there. But the thing that really drew me in was kind of more fusion players first. I was coming from metal, so like metal, instrumental metal, progressive rock music, and there's a lot of overlap in some of that with fusion. So like guitar players like John McLaughlin were an early influence. Alan Holdsworth was a big one. Alan Holdsworth's music sounds kind of just like aesthetically sounds like it would be just your run-of-the-mill shred guitar, fast licks thing, but his concept was way more influenced by saxophone players. So if you listen closely, even though it has this rock aesthetic, there's like something else going on there that is a deep well to dig into if you're a aspiring music student. And then that led me down to things like other guitar related jazz music like Pat Metheny, which then led me to things like Wes Montgomery, which then got me into kind of older jazz. I think later on I got really into really traditional jazz because it felt more authentic to the creative process of that music, of Black American music. When you take it just as the theory of how it applies to your instruments, it kind of loses some of like the artistic aesthetic or artistic reasoning for any of this. Jazz being a music developed by black musicians who were developing their own kind of subculture in different parts of the U.S. And providing both a service as musical artists, but also creating an identity for themselves. So eventually I kind of looped around things like that. I also got into, went from jazz fusion to gypsy jazz for a little while, especially because there's a lot of guitar in that music. And then eventually I got drawn to things like Coltrane's later spiritual jazz stuff as an improviser. And for a long time I was really into the free improvisers of the 60s and 70s, things like Ornette Coleman and things that are more closely related to the development of folk music, which is how we get to where we are today, where I'm kind of really into studying the tradition of storytelling through music, but also the tradition of tapping into folk influences to inform your musical style. And how those folk influences are so closely related to the culture that you grow up in, to the environment that you put yourself into, and how all of that's really important for creating your artistic voice. But anyway, this is another new one. And like I was saying before, it's in Dad Yad. A lot of these new tunes I don't have a name for yet, so we're gonna have to start coming up with some soon. gonna close off this set here, and come back in a little bit with Ruby Greenberg to join me. I'm gonna close this set off with a tune called "The Bar" from the Nature Walk EP. If you've been listening to us thus far, thank you. We appreciate you being here. Thank you to Lynx for always being an active contributor to this live stream. Yeah, I'm really stoked to have Ruby here. We're gonna play some songs. We've got some cool stuff coming up down here in California. Next week we're playing at the Desert 5 spot for the Soft Spot Songwriter Series. We've been working to get into one of those showcases for a while, and really stoked to play that. And then the week after, we're actually also playing Open Folk at Hotel Cafe, another great songwriter series that I've been loving watching and seeing a lot of the artists there. So I'm really stoked to play with Ruby at these places. So if you're in Southern California, check them out. Maybe on the break I'll put the links in the description to find where these things are. But yeah, I'm gonna close off this set with a tune again from my solo acoustic guitar EP. This song is called "The Bar." Yeah, all right, we're gonna be right back. Again, my name is Prawit Siriwat here. I'm a guitar player and composer that plays jazz and folk related music. Check out the links below for more music. Subscribe to the channel, like this live stream, it helps us out a lot. And something on the horizon, other ways you can support the channel. There's all the music I'm playing from the Nature Walk EP. I have tabbed out, so soon you'll be able to purchase some sheet music and play these songs yourself. So yeah, that'll be on the horizon. So subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more of that. Yeah, we'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. All right, welcome back. I've got Ruby Greenberg here with me in the home studio down here in Southern California, where it's very hot.
It's warm.
It's warm. It's warm today. We have a fan going over here, off camera. I think it's sounding okay, but if you guys find it distracting, please let us know. I'm happy to turn it off for you, and then you'll see us sweat. Yeah. Ruby and I met a long time ago in New York, and then we both ended up moving out here separately to California, where we now play together a whole bunch. I mean, we've played together a whole bunch all over the place, but we've been working together a lot recently. Ruby's got a new EP coming out in the future. We recorded it a couple months ago, and it was a buttload of fun. It was a buttload of fun. So lots of new music. We're playing some really cool shows in the next 2 weeks. Next Tuesday we're playing at Soft Spot Songwriters. It's a showcase for songwriters at Desert 5 Spot on Tuesdays. Really cool top of a hotel type venue place with a really interesting cowboy boot disco ball, which is super fun. Yeah, so we're playing that, and then the week after we're playing at Open Folk at Hotel Cafe, also kind of in the same neighborhood. So if you are listening from any of these areas, come out. We'd love to see you there. Let's see. Oh, okay. Cool. What should we start with, Ruby?
You want to start with I Carry You?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Cool.
If I'm your friend, you can sit down at my table. You can write me every day, buy my coffee in line. I'd look for you in a crowd, you'd know my old nicknames. You'd need the stories of my day, and you'd read me like time. Would you reach for me when it's time to say goodbye? Would you see yourself reflecting back when you look into my eyes? I carry you with me, I can't leave the light behind. Though I go my own way, still I hold this traveling time. I carry you with me, I can't ignore the spark. It grew into a flame and now it burns within the dark. With eyes deep as the ocean, you turn your gaze to me, and I wonder what I mean to you as I drown into the sea. So slow we walked across the line that no one saw us leaving, and now we're too far gone, too far along to be retrieved. Would you reach for me when it's time for me to leave? Would your lonely heart be calling out for a hand to set you free? I carry you with me, I can't leave the light behind. Though I go my own way, still I hold us traveling time. I carry you with me, I can't ignore the spark. It grew into a flame and now it burns within the dark. If I'm your friend, you would tell me I'm heaven. Walk beside me in the rain, shelter me when it pours. You find me when I fall apart and pick up all my pieces. You'd rearrange my broken parts, holding me steady with a smile. But would you leap with me down the road an opening, down another path less taken? There's a field I'm running in. For a moment I look back at you and I see you wondering. We can only wait a moment, see you standing at the edge. I carry you with me, I can't leave the light behind. Though I go my own way,
Yeah.
I've
That's so
missed
fun.
playing our songs together.
Yeah.
Because I feel like after we got back from tour and we were playing every day for 5 days, then like when I got home, I was in a down
Yeah.
period where I
Yeah.
just needed to like take a break.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been singing very much.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's it does feel kind of crazy that it's like we were like on it so hard for like 5 straight days,
Yeah.
and then yeah, and then it's just like a little break. It feels like such a big break, even though it was just like it's only been a couple weeks, I
It's been a
guess.
couple weeks.
But it feels like it feels like we're jumping back in it.
Mhm.
It feels really, I miss it.
Yeah.
Already. So yeah, let's see what it's like.
Yeah.
Lank says, Ruby, when did you know you wanted to be a singer-songwriter?
Well, I always loved singing. Like that has just been with me since I was like a toddler. I was like singing when I was riding in the car or going to school or doing chores around the house. It was just like constant. So I've always loved that. I started writing songs about 10 years ago, and it really was just that I felt like I wanted to make music that was more personal. Because I was doing covers, and I still love doing covers, and I loved doing that at the time, but it wasn't even that like I wanted to like tell my story necessarily, but I just wanted like songs that I connected with, and I also was friends with a lot of songwriters, and so that was really inspiring, and I saw their process, and I just felt like I wanted to, share mine as well. So.
What were some of the songwriters at the time, like in that period of, I guess this would have been new school, when you were starting to write?
Yeah.
Who were some of the people in your like community, you think?
They were just like our classmates at jazz school, but there was a group of people that were all singers in jazz school that were kind of spreading out and writing their own music that wasn't really jazz necessarily. It was, some of them were folk, and then some of them were pop. Some of it was kind of pop rock. And so I think, that resonated too, where it's like this like community of singers who learned jazz and came from that in their formal music education, but were like stretching into other kinds of music that spoke to them more. And all of us in that friend group, it was a different type of music.
Yeah.
I think I was the only one that was like really going this like acoustic folky route.
Right. I find it's interesting how like we both went to the New School for Jazz and Contemporary Music in New York, and I feel like you can identify generations of classes based on the singers and where they go, like what they do with their music. Because like when I arrived there in 2011, recently the recently graduated people were like Becca Stevens, but then there was also like Bilal. And like those were like an identity of a genre that comes out of the new school.
Okay.
But like when you're in it, it's like really surprising to see how it's not part of the curriculum at all.
Totally.
Like these are artistic identities that like grow and develop and mature, like coming from the school, but then doing things experientially outside.
Yeah.
That really identify different generations.
Totally.
Yeah. Because like I think you can like name like after like before we graduated, there was like I'm in a band called Ruby My Dear with a great singer-songwriter named Gabby Conan, and her generation also kind of identifies like a different strata of the new school, which was like on the vocal side there was Gabby, there was Sarah McDonald who runs a insane progressive rock jazz big band called the NY Chill Harmonic, and like a lot of that, I feel like that scene is a lot of like progressive, like it's still leaning on their influences more than maybe in school. Like I remember Sarah did a freaking Lady Gaga song at her like story song on stage or whatever, one of those things, and then it matured into this other totally different thing. But like everyone's like trying to find their way, and in the process of finding their way they're like developing a whole scene around
That's
it.
True. That's really true.
But I don't know. I don't feel the same way with instrumentalists. Like as like genre defining identities. They're just kind of like, some of them are, but like I think that's separate from being in the system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's also just, who the community was.
Mm-hmm.
And that they talk about, if you go to a formal music school, like a lot of it is the school itself and the curriculum and the teachers, but that a lot of what happens is based on like your peer group there.
Yeah.
And the system of support that you kind of foster with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense with how close-knit singers often were in those
Right.
programs.
Yeah.
Which is funny because when I was deciding whether to go to new school and I visited New York and visited the campus, I went to Sarah McDonald's senior recital.
No way. That's funny. That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
She was still doing like small group stuff at that point, right? Like it was.
I don't know.
Yeah.
To my little 18-year-old brain, it seemed large and elaborate. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Considered to what she
Right.
does today, it would
Right.
be. I don't know.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah. That totally tracks. That's amazing. That's so funny.
Mm.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see. What should we play next?
Do you want to do All I Want?
Yeah. Let's do it.
I feel like that's a good segue. Not
Yeah.
that was planned, but that was a big part of it, was
Yeah.
that I started listening to the acoustic Joni years
Mhm.
when I was in jazz school.
Right.
Like Blue and Court and Spark.
Yeah.
And even Court and Spark, she was like starting to get a little bit more jazzy.
Right. But it's still like got this kind of like folk aesthetic.
Mhm.
I mean, there's more of a band on there, but there's like,
Yeah.
it's like, it feels rooted in this kind of like
Yeah.
troubadour lifestyle kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Compared to like For the Roses or Tin Angel. Anyways, so I loved all those acoustic Joni years.
Yeah.
So that was a big influence too at the time.
Let's see.
I'm on a lonely road and I am traveling, 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 looking for something. What can it be? I hate you some, I hate you some, I love you some, I love you when I forget about me. I wanna be strong, I wanna live alone, wanna belong to the living, alive, alive. I wanna get up and jive, wanna rock my stockings in some jukebox dive. Do you wanna dance with me, baby? Do you wanna take a chance on maybe finding some sweet romance with me, baby? Well, come on. All I really, really want our love to do is to bring out the best in me and in you too. All I really, really want our love to do is to bring out the best in me and in you. I wanna talk to you, I wanna shampoo you, wanna renew you again and again. Applause, applause, life is our cause. I think of your kisses, my mind sees songs. Do you see how you hurt me, baby? So I hurt you too, and we both get so blue. I am on a lonely road and I am traveling, looking for the key to set me free. The jealousy, the greed is the unraveling. I tell you, it's the unraveling. It undoes all the joy that could be. I wanna have fun, I wanna shine like the sun, wanna be the one that you wanna see. I'll knit you a sweater, I'll write you a letter. forever.
Yeah. I feel like that's a song that's really close to our relationship because the first time I think we worked on something together was this song.
Yes.
Yeah.
You might be right.
Yeah.
I have early memories of us working on standards together too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this one, and we played it so many times over the years.
Yeah.
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 It's a good one. Did you record this one? I feel like I
did.
remember you.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a recording of this. It's on YouTube, and there's a really fun studio video that
Right.
our good friend Joby Sebastian filmed and edited for me. But yeah, recorded in a studio in Brooklyn. Never released that one on Spotify, so you'll have to go to YouTube to hear it.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, I just saw. So I'm recently getting into TikTok. You know.
Yes.
I feel really old.
Welcome.
Being a person that says that.
Join us.
But there's this music lawyer on there
Mm-hmm.
that just talks about music stuff. You might have seen her. She's got like red hair, glasses.
There's so many people
Yeah.
that talk about music on
Yeah,
TikTok.
yeah. So there's this music lawyer, and she explained. So there's the this is getting really niche right now, but there's like how you do covers and how you release them and how you get rights for them and stuff, right? I grew up with a certain way of thinking about this, where it's like you get a mechanical license whenever you sell a physical copy, or like for the predicted amount of physical copies. I did not know that since the dawn of streaming, there is a new approach to it, and that you still have to get a license. You have to get permission, and you're supposed to get like a license, but the streaming services are paying the mechanical license for because they're the ones in control of how many times it gets played. So artists are no longer required to have the responsibility of doing that. On top of that, YouTube, you're really supposed to get a license because you're the one uploading it and like it's direct. But apparently all the big record labels and publishing companies decided we don't want to chase down everyone. YouTube, just pay us some money. And then so YouTube handles the licensing similar to the way that you would if you're signed up to a PRO. PROs are performance rights organizations for you guys listening.
Music biz with
yeah,
wit.
Yeah. So I'm trying to stay updated, but I've realized I'm a little behind the times on how.
No,
how
you were always
covers-
so good about knowing about the music business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know how covers are really handled anymore. So we'll have to think about that. What should we play next?
How about the house you built?
Cool. Do you want to count it out?
Yeah. Dun, dun, 2, 3, 4. A withering plant by the window, tired but willing to fight. A cactus once left and forgotten, waits for a lift from the light, casting gold on the walls of a softly lit room. Candles burn as we talk through the night. We're at it so long, the wick turns to smoke, while each word you say sets me right. You say and do everything I need to feel safe in the world. The house you built is the most welcoming place my familiar to me. You smile, singing along. Laughter is longer than trains we ride on. In the house you let me belong. I come in from the cold, melted snow on my feet. You remind me spring will return. Your table is crowded with flowers and plates, and surrounded by people I know. You say I knew everything I need to feel safe in the world. The house you built is the most welcoming place I've known as long as I've lived. The house you built is the most welcoming place I've known as long as I've lived. Long as I've lived. Long as I've lived. Long as I've lived. In my lonely heart. Home for my lonely heart. Home for my lonely heart. Yeah, that's one of my newer songs that I wrote just about friendship that makes you feel really safe. And I actually wrote it about the feeling of going into my best friend's house and just kind of like imagined the scene that was there, especially after I moved to California and I could see his house so clearly that I used to go to all the time. And like the candles lit and the pictures on the walls, and then especially I wanted to put a line in there just about like when you're in a place and like you know everyone and you feel super comfortable because they're people that you recognize. Because when you move to a new place, I mean, it's so exciting and there's something refreshing about making new friends, but it also is like it's not the same as being around people who like already know you and you can be totally at ease with and yourself with. If you're an introvert, maybe the extroverts out there can't relate.
Yeah.
But that was what I was thinking when I wrote that. So
Wow. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I feel like as you know, we're introverts working in a very extroverted field. It's interesting how there's a lot of introverts in music and arts, right?
totally.
And it's interesting how we all have different approaches to handling that and how that influences our art, but also influences how the communities are built. Because everyone knows that these are what we're all feeling, you know. So all of us introverts are coming together and like doing the thing, and then we're like, we get it. We're like, we get the energy that you're using. We appreciate the energy that you're using.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Recognition. I agree. But I totally agree. I mean, it's actually more common. Just because you're on stage, it doesn't mean that you're an extrovert.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love getting to know my favorite songwriters and like see videos of them that are they're just like soft spoken and trying to express themselves. So I think that actually is very common.
Yeah. Do you want to play while we're in 4? Do you want to play Pictures of Us?
Yeah. And on the theme of moving, this is a song that was written with a friend of mine who lives in Los Angeles, and she has an awesome band called 500 Year Flood. But we wrote this song because we were both moving houses at the same time with our partners, and so this is just about kind of moving on from the past and being excited for what's in the future, but also realizing you have to say goodbye to some things too, to invite new experience into your life. So. fresh breeze in. Take a sip of my coffee, hear the birds chirping. Shake out the dusty curtain, put a book on the shelf. These four walls are made to be lived in. Don't need a new start, still it feels nice. Singing songs in the kitchen, labeling the spice. Oh, it makes me happy watching you move through the house. These four walls are where we build our life. Just me and you. Ooh, me and you. Putting down roots. All of our stories packed up in boxes, filling empty spaces just like we want to. Making a home. Pictures of us to remember this moment. Don't need a new start, still it feels nice. Singing songs in the kitchen, labeling the spice. Put on our favorite record, spin me till both of us crash. Honey, we've made it, look what we've grown. Ooh, it's just me and you. Pictures of us to remember this moment. On we go, every possibility through our eyes, all the beauty we can find. Putting down roots. All of our stories we packed up in boxes, filling empty spaces just like we want to. Making a home, leaving behind still memories from our place. Pictures of us to remember this moment. Open a window, let the fresh breeze in. These four walls are made to be lived in. Nice.
Fun.
I started to step back a little bit when I was doing those loud parts.
Oh yeah.
So sorry if
Well,
I overrode that.
no, I think
We didn't sound check on like a louder part.
that's true.
That was really
That's
good.
true. Let's see. Lex says, "I love this one."
Oh,
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let's do a couple more.
Yeah.
What are we thinking?
Across the Sky?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a love song. When you first locked your eyes in mine, lifted up through space and time, we leaned against the winter trees, open arms gesturing peace. Solstice and a daytime moon, rising halo above the noon, like sparking energies divine. When you first locked your eyes in mine, when you first locked your eyes in mine, when you first took me by the hand, matching footprints, rock and sand, snow fell gently on our tracks, words drip slow like candle wax. I could break 100 rules, I could steal you precious jewels, I could sing without a band, because you took me by the hand, because you took me by the hand. And pearls will hide their color in the ocean, underneath a quilt of blue, dancing crimson and jasper. I love you so much I could stretch my arms across the whole sky, still I wouldn't have enough room. When you first gently kissed my lips, opened up my soul to fix, golden sun rays through the curtain, I see myself in another person. Honey walls of golden oak, sweet perfume and rising smoke, like spotting land from weathered ships. I found home when you kissed my lips, I found home when you kissed my lips. Mm. Yeah. It's funny talking about school because in terms of songwriting, like school wasn't really a place where I learned how to do that. Like I feel like school was where I learned the language of music, I suppose, like theory and how to hear music and what the chords meant and were and everything. But songwriting really, like, it was totally outside of that structured environment. And then I've taken songwriting classes from some of my favorite artists, which has been really cool, like Adrienne Lenker and Laura Marling and Michelle Willis. And that song, Across the Sky, was a song that I wrote after a class that I took with Michelle Willis, who's an amazing songwriter, piano player, as a friend of mine, and I worked as her assistant for a couple of years as well while she released her record. And and so it was like a lyric exercise and walking through her approach to songwriting, where I wrote the lyrics to that one. So
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I did find that, like, even as a composer, it was, New School's a bunch of players. Like, that's their
Yeah, I love
their
that.
thing. And they're killing. They're so good. But it's like, I think the program, at least when we were there, was really geared towards, ensemble playing, being really good at doing it. And I think I think when we were in school was a turning point in, like, how you can make money in in creative industries, or music performance industry. So, like, there was, the film score route or composer route, grant route, and there were just be really good at playing, so you get called to play on someone's gig.
Got it.
and other than that, get a day job, that kind of thing. But the craft of composition was like, or songwriting was saved for just like a different program, a different thing. It was not seen as like something where it was easy to find. Like it was hard to like give you the skills you needed to then have a job after school. So I think it was easy at the time for most of these schools to say like, well, if you can play these scales and you can play these licks and you can play this style, you will get hired by some band in some place somewhere across the US or Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's totally changed, like people can really actually find a way to make a living doing all kinds of creative stuff, other than just playing. So, I mean, there's always composition degrees in different schools and stuff, but that's a totally different world than what we're doing.
Yeah. Got it.
So, yeah.
You should have a podcast.
Yeah.
Comment if you think that Prawit should do a podcast about music education situations and the music business.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just hearing, like, and we talk about this, and, like, it's outside of your streams, but just hearing you talk about it, you have so much to say. You should totally do that.
I just feel like, what I missed in school was having, like, a counselor that, like, was actually tapped in. Yeah. I just wish there was, like, a counselor who, like, I mean, we had great people at the new school, too. Like, I remember there were people who were, like, counselors, like, Kyle Wilson was like a good person to know, but everyone felt like since it wasn't their job to be your counselor, they felt like they couldn't be your counselor. They couldn't like give you the information. They were like holding it because they were like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be the one to tell you about life.
Wow, that's a really interesting statement. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I know like Vic Juris, for example, gave his view on everything very clear, and maybe a little like not super connected to the current time, but he was always trying to like, like he told me not to get a master's because it cost too much, and like how are you gonna make money as a musician, right? Like, and like stuff like that. It's like I feel like even something closer to that, most people are afraid to give out this information because it's not their role in these people's lives, but it could be their role.
Which is also so sad because it's just your opinion.
Right, yeah. I mean,
but anyways,
I guess,
the great Vic Juris.
Yeah, the great Vic Juris. Miss him every day, Yeah. Let's play maybe one or two more.
Sure.
I think. What are we feeling? We can do a cover. We haven't done a cover.
Yeah.
Since I want.
What cover should we do?
Let's see. Let's do. Do you want to do Silhouette Bound?
Oh yeah, sure. I have climbed highest mountains. I have run through the fields only to be with you, only to be with you. I have run, I have crawled, I've scaled these city walls, these city walls, only to be with you. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. it burned like a fire, this burning desire. And I have spoken with the tongue of angels and the hand of the devil that was warm in the night. I was cold as a stone, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. I believe in a kingdom coming when all of the colors will bleed into one. Bleed into one. Yes, I'm still running. You broke the bones and you loosened the chains. Get rid of the cross of my shame. Ooh, my shame. Yes, I believe it, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. I just watched a video of Sarah Jarreau singing that song.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah.
I keep grabbing my water and turning my back every time the song ends.
It's okay.
But she was reacquainting me with the melody
Oh,
of
yeah.
that song,
Yeah.
the written melody.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did that when I was teching for her. She did
Did
that
she?
song.
Yeah.
It was always like because she did it solo.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a really interesting moment of the
Wow.
night.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I think on that tour, that's where I learned, we might have talked about this, like, that's where I learned, like, she really takes care of her audience. Like, she's playing as a service to her audience, even though, like, her music has a lot of, like, killing stuff in it,
Mhm.
like, but, like, the way that she shapes her sets is to create a certain experience for her audience.
That's great.
But then that moment was always like it felt like, there's a full room of people and it felt like she's singing like to each person
Mm-hmm.
in the room.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's super sweet.
Yeah. But, cool. Let's see.
Mhm.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah. Thanks for hopping on to the live stream. Good to see you again. Yeah. Should we play? Yeah, 6:57. Do you want to play one more?
Sure.
Yeah. Cool. What should we close off with?
Maybe Always,
Yeah, let's do that.
you think?
Yeah, I might sing on this one.
What a treat. What a surprise.
What a surprise! Oh no.
You guys. This is the first song that I released, and so it's available to stream on Spotify and Tidal and YouTube and wherever else you look, it will be there. It's not on TikTok yet, though, but it will be soon.
Oh,
We're gonna fix that.
is it on Deezer?
It's probably on Deezer,
Yeah.
but TikTok, no. But this is my first single, yeah. And so I actually started writing lyrics to this, like kind of just for fun when I was in high school. But I didn't know
Oh,
it would
yeah.
be for this song. I just had like written lyrics with my friend. Then I reused them when it was time to write this song.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a bit of Ruby Greenberg lore that I didn't know.
There's probably so much of
Yeah.
that I like haven't shared.
Yeah.
So we'll just See if
It'll
it comes
start
out
to-
over the years.
Yeah.
The lore is.
The lore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was listening to a song called "So Are You to Me" by East Mountain South, which is a beautiful love song. Super short though, and so my friend and I were performing it, and we needed to make it a little bit longer, so we wrote some of our own verses to it.
Oh, cool. Wow, that's a fun exercise.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome.
And so then I used it in this song.
Nice. Let's see.
Yeah. Four. Blind, we are new in the world. We are searching through the dark. I feel your power in my heart. We guide each other. I pull you, you push me. As we grow, sometimes we fall, sometimes we fly. You are the one who knows what I am. A light in the dark. You reached out a hand. As thunder calls through the valley, as the bloom upon the rose, I'll never tire. Always I will stand by you and be by your side. Always, 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 always. Charging force through the world, wildfire. Words run free like the wind, running wild. Dreams rise from shadows and light in her mind. Wherever you lead, I'll believe in you all our lives. You are the one who knew me before. A light in the dark. You opened a door. As thunder calls through the valley, as the bloom upon the rose, I'll never tire. Always I will stand by you and be by your side. Always, 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 always. Deep in the winter, I watched as your light pulled me out. Our lives began to turn through a clearing sky. You rose from the darkness and you walked into the night as your own, as your own. As thunder calls through the valley, as the bloom upon the rose, I'll never tire. Always I
Well, thank you for joining us today, guys. Once again,
Thank
my name
you.
is Prawit Siriwat. This is Ruby Greenberg. You can check out more music of both of ours, I think, in the links below in the description. There is a virtual tip jar if you're so inclined. Right now, it's just a Venmo link, but in the future there will be a tipping link somewhere that you can pay all kinds of things like credit card, PayPal, all kinds of fancy stuff.
Nice. Thank
But-
you for having me.
Yeah, thanks
It's
for
always
coming.
fun to join you
Yeah.
in your stream. Thank
Come
you so
anytime.
much.
We love having guests here at the stew. The stew.
Always such a fun time.
Yeah, we got this
Till next
great
time.
green chair. So any guests that want to come, this is the client chair.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You could just sit and listen.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you, Ruby.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. If you're in LA, come to our shows the next 2 weeks. We've got
Tuesdays.
next Tuesday. Yeah.
If
next
you forget,
Tuesday.
it's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's
Just
two
next
Tuesdays.
2 Tuesdays.
Yeah.
The next
Tunes-
2 Tuesdays.
Tunes on Tuesdays.
Tunes on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. But yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Day to black.